you, but it's come to that time of year again when people decide, of course, in the media to make sure that they come up with their own variations of a story. There's a big reason behind this, of course. There's a drought, people go on holiday, and then there's not really that much in the newspaper. So this particular story relating to the former royal known as the Duke of York, His Royal Highness Prince Andrew, is all the more baffling. So let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Yes, heat waves arrived. I found a cool spot. Thank you so much, by the way, for all your kind comments about look out for yourself and all that. Truly look out for yourselves. I really mean that. You know, wherever you are in the world, always look out for each other. It's very kind that you share those thoughts and sentiments, though. But I do honestly. Got water, got my flask of tea, my jammy dunches. I'm well organised. One of the things I think people don't realise actually in the heat, and it's something I learned, is when you think about it, we drink a lot of water, don't we? You know, or tea or coffee or whatever, juice, and then we deplete our salt, in our body, and of course that makes us a little bit sort of lightheaded and all that sort of stuff. I'm sounding like a doctor, aren't I? But that's what I was told anyway by a big medical expert out at our studios recently. So suddenly I thought to myself, well, that bag of salt and vinegar crisps, they'll be all right then. Perhaps not. Back as ever to your Breaking Royal story of the day. Now this story really has gathered momentum over the last couple of days simply because it's absolutely fantastical when you think about it, and it already centres on that now Newsnight interview with Prince Andrew, the one that he didn't want to take any advice upon, and then he took his daughter along with him because they were going off to an event. The usual thing, very strange. I mean, even at the time I remember saying, why wouldn't you ask for, complete ownership of it and a final edit, a final say? Perhaps you just wanted to see it. But obviously, there was an arrogance attached to Prince Andrew at that moment, and he thought he could ride it through. Apparently, and as ever we have to say allegedly, he went forward to the Queen and said yes, it went very well. How well does he think it would have gone if it went badly? But now there is a book attached to that particular interview by the producer, who has decided, of course, to write her tell-all book about how to make sure you get scoops. I always find these things really interesting because when you also look at the presenter of that particular segment, Emily Maitlis, she then had a book out called Airhead, all about her big scoops. So there's obviously a battle between the presenter and the producer. And Emily's book apparently was also going to be turned into some of the TV drama or film or something like that. 2.5 years down the line, not heard anything. So Emily, if you're out there, do update us, dear. It'd be lovely to know exactly how well that's going, This book also is going to be turned into a TV drama, a big sort of film or whatever they want to call it, streaming thing. Can't really see the interest in it myself. We know the story. He sat down, did an interview. Who cares about the background? But obviously, somebody thinks there's some money to be made. What is now interesting is that apparently over the weekend, some BBC executives who were working on that particular production have cited that there was a picture attached to that production. And if the world saw it, it would bring down the monarchy. Right. So let's just gather this story up very quickly for you, right? In that room, there would have been at least minimum 10 people, including the producer. And then, of course, you've got a stills photographer, and then you have Prince Andrew alongside his daughter. What picture do you think he could have possibly produced or they could have seen in the room at Buckingham Palace that could have shocked the nation? I don't know. Paddington with the Queen? It's incredible. What I would surmise is this, that they've got a bit of a problem right now because there's only one royal book doing any business in town, and that is Revenge. And sadly for them, they didn't see that the fact that this other book was going to be coming out at the same time as theirs. So guess what? Let's hike up the PR and, basically try and get some traction going on this. My sort of theory on this particular thing is there is no picture. If that was the case, it would have been included in the book, even pixelated. So once again, it's very easy, isn't it, for BBC associates to trash senior members of the British monarchy. Whichever you think about Prince Andrew, there are both sides to every story. It just seems relentless in their attack upon him. And I, for one, simply, obviously to you, directly to you, don't believe this story at all. Great piece of PR fluff. Until I see the picture, I remain unconvinced. As ever, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.